Today, I want to talk about how moving to the US as an African can actually ruin your life if you let it. So I've been in the US for close to 2 years now. It will be 2 years in October. And since coming here, my plans have changed. A lot of things have changed. I started out being in healthcare as a caregiver, and today I'm a realtor. Things I had to do intentionally to move towards my goal. And yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine who I worked with in an adult family home, and I found him there and I left him there, and he's still in the same position. There's nothing wrong with that. But he had so many goals. He wanted to start a business, so he went and spent about $18,000 on a minivan that he would use for his business. Today, that minivan is used for Uber Eats on the days that he's off. He had all these ideas and actually had even gotten a client. There was a deal he ended up getting, and he did some business on the side. But then since then, he's done nothing around it. He's still earning the same amount of money he was earning when he started. He's still living in the same place he was living when he started. He had dreams of getting a better house, moving to a different location, starting the business, still working on the side, but then still growing his business. And when I spoke to him yesterday, he just told me, Jacqui, I feel stuck. And it got me thinking. And that's why I decided I'm going to make this video, because I see the danger of getting comfortable and not pursuing your goals. And then 1 month turns into 2, turns into a year, turns into 2 years, turns into 5. And the next thing you know, you've been here for 10, 15 years and you've not really been able to achieve your goals. You've not built that house you wanted to build back home. You've not done the things, invested in the things that you wanted to invest in. You've not done, if you wanted to go to school, you've not gone through the education you wanted in order to progress your life or your career. You've done none of that because we get comfortable. And that's the danger of coming to the US. When you come from Africa, I know this, I come from Kenya. I know the conditions under which we come from. I know how hard we have to work. If you're working in corporate, it's very hard to get those corporate jobs. And when you get them, it's not only hard to keep them, but it's hard to scale up the ladder. I did that. I worked in corporate for many years. I managed to scale up the ladder, and then I left. When you leave, if you go into business, and that's what I did, I went into business. Business is an extreme sport in Kenya. You've got businesses that don't want to pay. I had really high profile businesses. They have a lot of money, but one of them I had to chase for 2 years in order to get paid. And it's only when I got somebody senior to advocate for me that I got paid. Another one I literally had to threaten in order to get paid. All of these things, I know what it's like to have to run a business or work in a corporate job. The conditions under which we have to work are really difficult. So we are used to hustling, we're used to striving, we're used to not taking things for granted. Then you come to the US. What happens? People are looking for people like us to work. We are hardworking. So people are lining up, trying to get you to work for them. It's great for your ego. It's a great position to be in when people are pursuing you. And there's the money element. You don't have to struggle for money. We struggled for money. There's no guarantee. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. Since coming here, I don't have to struggle for money. If I want to get money, I just go get a job somewhere and the money will flow in dollars. When I convert this into Kenya shillings, it's a lot of money. So we get very comfortable. And that's the issue. We get comfortable and we stop pursuing our goals. And then when the carpet is pulled from under you by any circumstance, any number of circumstances, we end up feeling a lot of regret because we didn't get to achieve our goals. We end up in retirement maybe without the resources that we expected to have at that time to live a comfortable life that makes sense after you've been away from your family, sometimes for 10, 20 years. When you go back, you want to be able to live comfortably, not to have to go back into the hustle. You want to be able to provide for them, provide a comfortable life for them. Or I can buy land here, or I can build a house, put a down payment. I don't even have to take a mortgage. I can build slowly. But for a lot of people, I know we get stuck. And I also fell into that trap. In the beginning, I could have gotten stuck. The thing that kept me going was I had a bigger goal than what it is I was doing. I knew what I was doing was a bridge to get me to where I needed to go. It was not the destination. And that's one of the things that I see. Like, the destination for a lot of people is just to make money. But then what? I have a friend of mine, she's actually gonna come over in August, which is really cool. She came in here with a goal, and she has accomplished quite a number of the things that she wanted to accomplish back home. She invests all her money in Kenya, and she has done incredible things that she wouldn't have been able to do if she was there. But she had to focus, she had to sacrifice. She has worked really hard, but with the goal of what it is that she's doing at home. I know somebody else who has been here for about twice the time she has. They have nothing. They don't own a home here. They don't own a home back home. They could barely afford to take their child to a good school. And it's unfortunate because this place makes you comfortable. And comfort could end up being more dangerous than the hustle back home. Because at least the hustle gets you to build muscle. Comfort can make you put on weight, not feel energetic, be out of good health. So I'm doing this video hoping that something resonates in here for you, that at least you start to look at those goals and those dreams that you had, and you start to work towards them. If you wanted to start an adult family home or buy a home here, put a map of how you're going to get there. Don't just assume that you work and suddenly you'll have extra money to put into this. Have a plan. If you need to build your credit, start working towards that. I have really great credit here because I built it from the beginning. I started working on my credit because I understood how important your credit reference and history is in America. For a lot of people, you just come here and you see shiny objects. It's easy to order things on Amazon. There goes your money because you can order things every day. It arrives at your doorstep. It can be addictive. You can go have expensive coffee every day. It's really nice. You can buy whatever it is that you want. I look at all of these platforms, and these ways to spend money are built with America first in mind. So they make it very easy for you to access them. And that becomes a trap later if you don't have your goal. And your goals don't just have to be financial. It could be personal, it could be emotional, it could be you wanted to get your MBA, it could be you want to meet somebody great here. It could be any matter of things, but just don't lose sight of your goals. So I want to share with you a few tips. I wrote them down because I know whenever I start to share tips, I forget something, and then later on I start thinking about what it is that I forgot. So I'm going to be referring to my laptop because I wrote them down here. First one, comfort can be dangerous. It can be dangerous if you let it. It's a good thing because you've got the muscle. You've got the hustle muscle. So use that hustle muscle to make something bigger than yourself than you would have made at home, or that somebody else who doesn't have that muscle would not have been able to achieve here. And the second thing is not to confuse income with progress. Just because you're making money doesn't mean you're getting closer to your goal. Your goal is something you set. Your goal is not something that you accidentally fall into. And making progress means that you're actually taking steps towards it. If it's signing up for school, if it's putting money in a bank account in order to pay for a house, put a down payment in a house, anything that you're working towards to help improve your life in the future, to make your future self proud. Keep your goal in mind. Put something in your house that reminds you of your goal. If, like for me, what I used to do is my real estate books were always front and center. I had bookmarked windows of my classes. So when I open a window, it's bookmarked. It's easy for me to get. I don't have to go looking for my password or typing anything in. Click and it's easy. What I did for myself, and I wrote this because I was thinking about my first job and how I used it to finance what it is that I wanted. So the money I made from being a caregiver enabled me to invest in my real estate career, enabled me to accumulate savings so that even when I couldn't work because I chose not to work as I was trying to pursue my real estate career once I passed my exam, even if I couldn't work, I had enough money to not start feeling desperate to return to caregiving. So use your current job as a way to finance your future goal. and I think this one is number 4 if I'm not wrong, is expect your path to change. Things won't work out exactly as you expected them to work out in the beginning. Do you know that picture? It's like a cartoon caricature with like your idea of how you are, where you are, and your goal as a straight line, and you're cycling. And then on the other side, it shows reality. And it's like valleys and hills and mountains and, you know, sharks and like different things. But it's just to illustrate that more often than not, when we make a plan, our plans will change, and we have to be adaptable. We have to allow ourselves to flow with life, to be surprised by God, because sometimes God actually helps you along your path, but it's not going to be in the exact way that you think He's gonna do it. So you're going to start moving towards a direction, and then you start getting resistance, and then you wonder, why am I getting resistance? Because He's trying to get you in a different direction. So look at all of that and give room for God's surprises and for you to change direction, not to lose your goal, but to change how you get there. And then stop chasing the additional $10, $20 an hour, because I have somebody I'm thinking in mind who's constantly chasing the next additional $10, $20. And he does keep getting those jobs, but he keeps moving and discovering another one, or discovering that this one, as much as he's being paid $20 extra, doesn't give him time to pursue his goals, or it's a lot more work. Then he changes to another one, and he's constantly moving, never really stable in one place. So when you find a place that you're comfortable, that you can be stable and pursue your goals in that area, like maybe a job that is funding your goals, stop moving, you know, every month, every week, because there's a lot of stress when you're moving. By the time you settle and start working on your goals again, it's gonna take time. So if you keep chasing the little money, it's great, but it will require energy every new place you go. So keep that in mind. If you have the time to do it, fine, but I wouldn't recommend it, because it's just wasting your time, and you should be spending that energy pursuing your goal, even if you're not getting that extra $10 or $20 an hour addition. So just keep that in mind. And then number 6, your goals belong to you. They don't belong to your family. They don't even belong to your kids. They don't belong to your church. They belong to you. Advice from other people is great. What you hear in social media is great. Do your own research. Figure out the best path for you. You can take what people tell you under advisement, but at the end of the day, you get to make the final decision. You get to decide what it is that you're going to do. And you may lose some people along the way. Some people may talk badly about you or question the decisions that you're making. But if you know why you're making those decisions, that's what counts. So stop focusing on what everybody thinks, approval from everyone, whether this aligns with what, you know, your family may be thinking. You know what it is that you're looking to achieve. And then number 7 is, don't let those years pass accidentally. Don't end up in a situation where you say, but now it's too late. You know, the other day I was watching this video of somebody, he's 90 something, and he was talking about regrets, and he was saying the things he should have pursued. And then he had this solemn look, and then he goes like, but now it's too late. He's ailing, he's in his 90s, he's lived a good life, but now he has the regret of the things he didn't get to accomplish. So don't be that person, because these years pass fast. It looks like you have a lot of time, but I remember one of the things that that really did it for me was to think, if you're in a place where you have summers, you know, summers represent every year you've got a summer, right? How many summers do you have in your life before you die? They're not too many. That was a sobering moment for me. And that makes me want to make sure that I make the best use of my time, that I don't waste my time, that I'm cognizant every day of how I spend my time, how I invest my time, because that's one thing you don't get back. So thank you for watching this video. I really hope that it triggered something in you, and that you're going to be able to look back later and be grateful for the time that you've also invested in me. Thank you so much, and I'll be making more videos like this. I'm really excited. I really look forward to seeing your comments below this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.